Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lucy. I'm a fourth year medical student studying at the University of Nottingham. I'm currently on my geriatrics placement and today I'm going to take you along for a day in my life on placement. Luckily today I only have a half day, so I won't actually be in hospital all day, and so I'll be able to actually film some things because I've really been struggling to vlog when I'm just in hospital all day because there's not much I can really film. So hopefully I'll be able to show you sort of a quite well-rounded, balanced day in my life. I am heading over to Newark Hospital to the healthcare of later life ward for 9 o'clock for a ward round, and then after that I have a Teams meeting where I have to do a sort of presentation, and then in the afternoon I'll be sort of doing some work and doing some other fun things. So I thought it would be a good day to take you along with me. It's about 7:30 and I'm leaving in about half an hour, so I'm just doing a little bit of makeup. I've just sort of been crawling around the house for the last 40 minutes making my breakfast and having a shower. Okay, I've just packed my bag and so I'm gonna head downstairs now to quickly wash up and then to leave. It's 8 o'clock, I'm in the car, ready to leave. It should take me about 35 minutes to drive to Newark. It's raining, which isn't very nice, but I'm going to put the radio on and listen to some music. And yeah, I will explain when I get there maybe a little bit more about my geriatrics placement. So I've arrived at Newark Hospital. I've got about 20 minutes before ward round starts, so I'm a little bit early actually. Something I can't believe is how busy the roads are. Like, obviously they're not as bad as if it was no lockdown at all, but like they're busy, like there's so many cars on the road, and I do think like surely the only people on the road should be essential workers, people going to get medicines or provide some sort of care, or people who have support bubbles, but they're meant to kind of be local. So I don't know why the big main roads are really busy. Like, I don't know where all these people are going. So I thought I'd just quickly let you know a bit about what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. So I am based at Mansfield, so Kingsmill Hospital in Mansfield, but I have to do a couple of days in Newark Hospital because my consultant who I'm with, he does some ward rounds here, so I'm kind of just going wherever he goes essentially. So for example, I've been to a couple of his clinics, I've been to his ward rounds, I've done quite a lot of just sort of ward work in general, so taking histories from patients, sort of doing bloods. Yeah, just trying to kind of fully immerse myself in the ward environment. I've also had a day on the stroke unit, I've had a morning on sort of front door geriatrics, so that was down at the emergency assessment unit. And yeah, I'm actually really enjoying geriatrics. I think there's so much medicine involved in it. Like, it really sort of tests your kind of broad general knowledge of medicine, which I really like. Yeah, I really enjoy talking to the geriatrics patients. They often have some really good stories to tell. So now I'm going to head into the ward round. I give myself quite a lot of time because I need to get changed into my scrubs and everything. So yeah, I will chat to you after the ward round. So I finished the ward round now. It was finished quite early, and then my consultant was just sort of doing some teaching for me about the Mental Capacity Act, just sort of telling me good ways to remember things. And then I just took a history from one patient. I ended up speaking to her for ages. So yeah, I was just sort of asking her about why she'd come into hospital and sort of getting an idea of her sort of medical background and sort of her sort of functional abilities, so her ability to sort of live at home independently and sort of what care needs she has and things. So I feel like I've had quite a productive morning, and now I'm going to drive home, so I'll be able to have lunch and have a bit of a break before we do our presentations. So at 1 o'clock we're kind of doing this presentation thing where everyone on our placements, everyone doing geriatrics, is sort of presenting a topic. So you can present it as like a case scenario or as a quiz. So I'm doing a little quiz on Kahoot, and so yeah, that'll be this afternoon, and then I'll be doing some work. So I'm gonna head back now and have a little lunch break. I've just realised as well I haven't had a drink since I left the house this morning, and it's now 11:30. This is so bad. I get so probably so dehydrated on placement because I just forget to drink and I don't have my water bottle with me, so I'm just gonna have a quick drink now before I go. So I'm just getting ready for the presentations, which are happening in 15 minutes. So I'll show you the Kahoot that I've made. So Kahoot is like a kind of a website where you can like make quizzes and then you can easily share them with other people. A lot of lecturers sort of use them for us in first and second year. So I did mine on dementia with Lewy bodies, and so it's only 8 questions. These are sort of the questions, and then there's like a time limit where everyone will have to answer. I'm just basically sitting and waiting 10 minutes now until the start of the meeting. So I finished doing my Kahoot quiz. It went down quite well, I think, and now I'm going to get on with a little bit of work. I am going to first actually make a to-do list because there's quite a few random things that I need to do, and then I'm going to use the Forest app. I caved and I got it. I know that everybody uses it, and it's where you plant a tree while you study to stop you from getting distracted and going on your phone. So I'm going to use that to do, I think, maybe like 45 minutes of work, and then I'm going to try and go on a run. So I'm just preparing myself mentally to go on a run. There's literally nothing I want to do less right now. I really, really, really can't be bothered. And I guess the point I want to make is that a lot of the time I think the word motivation is used, and I think I might have got this from one of Ali Abdal's videos actually. Motivation is a word that's thrown around, people are motivated to do their work, they're motivated to study, motivated to exercise, motivated to do a workout, but actually I think it isn't motivation all the time. Right now I am the epitome of an unmotivated person. I really, really have no motivation to go on this run. I've had to force myself into my running clothes because I know it will make me go, but I wouldn't say I'm motivated. I would just say it's discipline, and it's just saying to yourself, if you want to set these habits, if you want to make these changes to your lifestyle, if you want to exercise more, you want to be more productive, at the end of the day, you can't wait for yourself to want to do those things. You can't just wait around until one day you wake up and you feel full of motivation, because I'm afraid to say that day might not ever come. And don't get me wrong, some days I'm talking with regards to running, because I'd say working wise, studying wise, I do enjoy that, and so I am very motivated to do it. But in terms of sort of running, very occasionally I do feel like, yes, I really can't wait to go on a run. I really feel like it. Most of the time it's the last thing I want to do, but I just force myself. I just think that it will make me feel better, it will make me fitter, it will make me healthier, and that's kind of the technique I use, I guess, to be active. I think exercise or being active is always something that's worth making time for. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and go now. I've just returned from my run. It was 3 miles in the end. I always sort of trick myself into doing slightly longer than I anticipate. I told myself I would just run to a nearby hill and do like 10 hills and run back, and I got to the hill and then I just thought I may as well keep going, and so I ran all the way, well, not all the way, it's not very far, to the city centre, ran around the city centre and back again. It's nice because it's so, well, it's relatively empty. I obviously feel better for it. I always feel better after running, and I'm going to have a shower now and then get on with something else. So I'm now in what is one of my favourite Christmas presents of 2020, and it is called an Oodie, and it is literally like being inside a duvet, and it's so fluffy and soft inside. It's so huge, it literally, it goes down to like below my knees, and it's got a lovely cozy hood, and when you're in this, you could just sit in it all day. So I'm just currently gonna moisturize my face, and while I do, I'm trying to decide whether I want to do some admin like tasks. So I need to do my travel expenses form, which is one of those things I just put off doing until the very last minute, and the end of my placement, my geriatrics placement, is Friday and today is Tuesday, so I really do need to do it soon. Oh, I need to fill in my logbook, and oh my goodness, that is just not a fun task. Basically, I haven't filled in my logbook since I think Thursday, and on Friday I had my day on the stroke unit, which was one of the best days of placement I think I've ever had. It was a full day on the stroke unit, and I saw so many patients. Obviously it was sad because so many patients had had strokes, but also so many of them had, like, you know, recovered quite well from their strokes and were sort of ready to go back home and had quite a lot of rehab, so it was nice to see. And I think I saw, well, literally loads of patients, and I got to go to A&E and see like the initial presentation of a stroke, and then I went with the patient to have their CT scan, and then later on I reviewed them on the ward and looked through their sort of CT scan and diagnosed the stroke. Obviously not on my own, with the consultant and the rest of the team, but yeah, it was just such an interesting day. So I saw loads of patients that day that I need to put in my logbook, and then on Monday, which was yesterday, I had, as I said, front door geriatrics, so kind of like A&E for older people, and it's kind of triaging, you know, the patients and thinking, do they need to be admitted to the ward or can they go home, and it's trying to sort of get them away from the hospital if possible, trying not to put them in hospital because it's not nice, is it, for anyone to be an inpatient. So that was also a similar thing of like following a patient through the process of when they came in, you know, assessing them, looking at their x-rays, looking at their blood results, and like putting the whole picture together, and then deciding what you're going to do, and like formulating a management plan and documenting it. And I was able to actually do a lot of that sort of myself, so like I actually got to assess the patient, and I got to sort of fill in the form and everything, sort of with regards to what was going to happen next for that patient. So that was a really fun morning. And then I had a Parkinson's clinic in the afternoon because my consultant specialises in Parkinson's disease, and I saw so many appointments and they were so interesting as well, so I need to put all of them in my logbook as well. And then this morning I obviously saw the ward round. So basically I have a lot to put in my logbook, and I'm getting signed off for this placement on Thursday, so that's when I might need to show my logbook to my consultant. We're meant to show them, sometimes they care and sometimes they don't really care about sort of reading your logbook much, but I want it to all be ready in case he does want to look through it. But to be honest, I'm feeling more like I just want to do some sort of more mindless work. So I did some flashcards earlier, that was very much like active revision, you know, active recall. So now I think I'm going to do some paediatric flashcards. So I'm starting my peds placement in like 8 weeks. It's a long way off yet, like 2 months away, but it's a huge speciality, and I would honestly say that the learning objectives that we have for it are the same amount of learning objectives as we had for our 3rd year medicine and surgery course. Like, there's so many learning objectives and so many subspecialties within paediatrics, obviously, because it's like doing all of medicine and surgery again, but in a child. So I've got a lot to learn for that, and I don't want to be spending my paediatrics placement just making flashcards. I want to have ideally made them already so that I can then just be testing myself throughout the placement, and I can kind of have a firm grasp of what's going on, because a placement is so much more accessible, so much more enjoyable when you understand what's going on and when you can actually get involved and ask questions and, you know, not just be a complete beginner at something. So the aim is to do all my paediatrics flashcards in the next 8 weeks, as well as obviously being on placement, and as well as actually revising everything else and learning everything else. So I'm giving myself a huge head start. So for paediatrics, I'm just making flashcards, like I said. I'm using Zero to Finals, the website. I'm using notes from a medical student in the year above me, and I'm essentially just copying and pasting everything into flashcards so that I can easily review them when it comes nearer to the time. now, welcome to one of the most exciting times of the week. It's lateral flow test time. We actually do 2 lateral flow tests for COVID every week, with the idea obviously being to check that we are negative and that we're not bringing COVID into the hospitals. So I thought I would do it on camera for you to see. So here is one of the little test kits. So you open this up. I thought that was the test, but it was just the inner packaging. So here's the little test strip thing. So this bottom bit is where you put your sample, and then this is where the sort of liquid runs up, and you want 1 line to be negative and 2 lines would be positive. It's a bit like a pregnancy test. So first thing you do is you get one of these little tube thingies. Well, you make sure you have clean hands and everything first. And then you put 6 drops of this into here. Apparently you only have enough drops for the amount of tests that you have, so you have to make sure you get the right number of drops. This is the bit I really don't like. But then this has to go right up the nose. Oh, it's horrible. Ugh. And then this goes into this little tube, and you basically swish it around. Then you essentially drop this into the little sort of hole here, and you wait half an hour to find out your result. It's always half an hour of pure excitement. I've had the first dose of my vaccine, I think it was a week ago. Yeah, it wasn't the weekend just gone, the weekend before, so it's only been like a week, so it won't have really had an effect yet, so I'm definitely still very much vulnerable to it. I think it's 21 days, isn't it, when the vaccine becomes effective, but obviously the first dose, I had the Pfizer vaccine, it's only around 50% effective, so until I've had my second dose I'll still be, you know, very much able to catch it, and even with the vaccine potentially still, you know, able to transmit it to others even if I myself wouldn't get ill, so it's still really important to be really careful. Anyway, while that develops, I think I'm gonna go and make dinner. I literally can't believe I've just watched 2 episodes of Merlin. Like, what? Why am I watching Merlin? Well, to be honest, I think it's because I always re-watch films and programmes again and again, because I like the sort of safety of knowing that I've enjoyed it in the past. On things like Merlin, it just gives me that nostalgic feeling of like when I was a lot younger and like watching it after school and stuff. I think I'm gonna do my yoga in a minute. So I'm doing the 30-day yoga with Adrienne journey. I've done 2 of these 30-day journeys before of hers, and I really, really like them. And this one was really good because it started on the 1st of January, so it was a really nice way to start the year. And so far I'm just really enjoying doing it, and to be honest I can see myself continuing doing yoga every day even after January. Some of them are like a good sort of workout, you know, strength wise, some of them are more like stretching, some of them are kind of more like flowing, I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I just really enjoy it, and I do it every evening. I think I've done it in the morning a couple of times, but mainly I do it in the evening, sort of 8 o'clock-ish. So it's 7:45 now, so I think I might do that at 8. I might just do a few flashcards now, because I'm just sort of feeling like I probably could. I did my travel expense form, which is a massive tick off the to-do list for me, because things like that I just put off so long, so I'm glad that I've actually just done it. So we've now reached my most favourite part of my day, and that is when I just completely relax and I stop working, I stop thinking about work, I stop doing activities and exercise, and I just relax. So it's 9 o'clock and I have got into the habit of putting on my little night facial oil. So I do that, and then I will just be watching TV and relaxing for the rest of the day. So I'll sort of end the vlog here and say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed watching, then please do like the video and subscribe to my channel for more medical school content. I'd love to have you join our little YouTube family. There's over 2,000 of us now, which is insane. I literally never thought I'd even make it to 1,000 followers, let alone 2,000, so that's amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing, everybody. Let me know what videos you'd like to see in the comments, or if you'd like more day in the life vlogs, then I'm very happy to film those. I actually really enjoyed filming this one. I've got my little facial roller, which I'm going to just sit and use now. It's so relaxing, and I guess I'm going to be watching Merlin because that's what I've decided to watch today. I would probably try to get sleep around 10:30 most days, but I often can't get to sleep till about 11:30. I've learnt to just enjoy lying there with my eyes shut and just enjoying relaxing. So anyway, before I ramble on, thank you very much for watching. I will see you very soon for my next video, and take care everyone. Bye!